Scott.A.Hylton, Scott Talks, out on a bike ride. What am I listening to right now? I'm listening to sort of Sirius XM for free on my Spotify. And you're like, what? How are you doing that, Scott? Because Sirius XM, they're a bit of a pain. They'll get you signed up in about 20 seconds, but they'll take 40 minutes to get you offline and cancel your account. And after you talk to like 20 managers, and they sell you the whole time. Well, we'll give you a discount. We'll give you a deal. They won't let you go. You can't just click and cancel like you do a streaming service or something. It's kind of rigged. It's like the old cable company. If you haven't canceled cable in a long time, oh my gosh, you got to cancel cable. You got to just get on-demand streaming with Netflix and Paramount Plus and those guys. That's all you need. But this is a website. Go to xmplaylist.com and you'll see some Sirius XM channels. You're like, oh, this is cool. And touch them and it'll give you, on most of the channels, you'll have an access to add a playlist that they upgrade every 30 days with songs from that channel. So you don't have the DJ talking your ear off. You just got the great music. And if you go into settings under musics, you can crossfade and have the songs blend together and all that good stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is cool. So as one song ends, it'll start a new song. So how do I do this? xmplaylist.com. Go to it. You'll see the lineup of Sirius channels. Just click on one. And channel 2 is their big hits channel. And click on that. And it'll say at the top, it'll say to add to Spotify playlist. And click on it, say okay, and pop on it and make sure your Spotify playlist is open so it can add it to real good. And it'll add it, it'll say CH2, period, and playlist, whatever. And it'll give you bunch of songs. And supposedly they upgrade them all the time for you. It's like, cool, that'll be good. If you're worried it doesn't upgrade, if it looks like the same song, just get rid of it and then do it again. And then a couple months and you got a new group of songs. But I think it'll probably upgrade. Just keep track of, jot down a note and see. We'll see. But it's great. And you get the XM treatment and a different shuffling of accounts. Because sometimes Spotify and all these algorithms start sounding a little the same. You feel like you're getting the same stuff. So it's good to shake things up a little bit, and not just by switching to Pandora and having to listen to a few commercials, or Deezer or someone like that. But sometimes it's nice to stay on Spotify, especially if you're paying. If you don't have one of those cheaper free accounts, if you're paying and you have no ads, you want no ads. You just want music on your little ride or your car ride or just walking or hanging around the house cleaning or whatever you're doing. And that'd be great. I've made my new little playlist, because you can make playlists in Spotify. I made Christmas by Scott. My own little playlists, pretty relevant stuff, a little bit of copied off one or two other playlists, and then artists that I wanted stuck in there, mixed in with it. And cool, it's my own little thing. And I like it. So I don't know if you can access it, but see if you can. Christmas by Scott, you might like it. But yeah, check into that. I'm listening to the 10 spot now. So I'm listening to that, some music from that on the ride home. I just saved a bunch of those playlists because I was familiar with the channels from the times I had Sirius XM. And the only thing you miss about having Sirius XM is being able to push the button on the radio and instantly change it. Because the hard thing with real radio is I literally had 6 buttons on my old truck, pushed all 6 buttons one day and got 6 stations of commercials. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get Sirius XM. And I had a long ride to work, like 30, 40 minutes. So that was my excuse. If it's a shorter ride, I would have wasted money on Sirius XM. And I kept it for a while. And finally, its algorithm, everything started sounding the same. They kept playing the same songs over and over, which, you want the hits, but you're like, but not every damn day. out the exact same ones. It sells. I just heard this week. You want a little shuffle, a little variety, and you can make your own playlist and do that. And Pandora is neat because you can make your own stations. They want you to add like 6 artists, but you could add more. You can just keep going. You can add 20, 30 artists if you want to, and shuffle up, and it'll make its stations, so it's based on the radio stations. So if you pick Taylor Swift, you'll get Taylor Swift and artists like Taylor Swift. So you pick Taylor Swift station, Ed Sheeran station, Tate McRae station, different things like that. And you'll get all those same type of artists. And if you want to blend it in with the Beatles, blend in the Beatles on that too, and you occasionally get Beatles type music, but you'll also get other 60s, the Who and the Rolling Stones and stuff that might get stuck in there too. So it depends on how you want to do it. But it's neat. So get your XM stations, get that fix out of your system. And Spotify does have a trick to, you go into playlist, your library, your playlist, and check the first 2 things. It's like your most loved song and something else. I think it's recent or something. It's got a little icon there. And those 2 things are pinned to the top of your list. And you're like, oh, your favorite songs, the ones you've loved, you've hit the love, I love this song. So you can go into it and shuffle and hear songs that you love. I was like, oh, that's cool. But you actually get 4 of those. Yes. So go into Spotify, find a playlist you love, push and hold it. I think you have to push and hold and get the thing to say pin. Say, okay, pin. And go back and check it under the library, and it should be there. So your top 4 can be pinned. And Apple's new CarPlay feature allows pinning for playlist or artist or whatever. Also, if you have Apple Music. And this XM thing does more for Spotify to save your XM than it does for Apple. It doesn't have everything, of course, but it does do more Spotify. So you could have tons of those Spotify stations that they've created based on the music that was played on Spotify. It's a cool idea. Then you don't need Sirius XM. You got a second station, and it's still ad-free, and it gives you a little more variety in your day. If you love you love the Y2K country, hey, but you don't want to pay for a Sirius XM, you got one of those freebies. We had a freebie recently. They had about a week's worth of free Sirius XM. My wife got in her car and was like, it's gone. I was like, yeah, it's gone. It's like, oh, well. She goes, I just listen to the radio. I said, okay. Because she just she's got about 20, 30-minute drive, but she'll listen to the radio. Maybe the DJs talk. They're local, close enough to local for us. We're in Ocala, Florida. And so Gainesville or Orlando, things like that are kind of local for us. But usually it's Gainesville. It's for thing. And the news, if we get some Orlando stuff, I use Haystack News app for the TV instead of worrying about local news. We cut the cord 10 years ago or more. We don't do that. I mean, we can get, I know you can get it on Instagram, Facebook, you can get news. YouTube's great resource for news. I mean, this big merger that Netflix is supposed to be buying Warner Brothers, and we'll find out in a year if it goes all the way through. But, a lot of people, Netflix defense, by not being the giant on-demand streaming service that it is like, well, YouTube has more people twice as many people watching than we do. We're just little. Yeah, you're the big dog of the on-demand streaming service business. But yeah, YouTube is crazy big. Every one of you should be watching YouTube and getting used to that algorithm and finding some shows and people to watch, and like me, like, share, subscribe. Yeah, share the video, like the video, put the little thumbs up. It gives them Netflix, a little motivation. Say, oh, his videos are okay. He has some advice. I'll even file this one under dad advice, and radio advice. And all my playlists, I have tons of playlists on my channel. So I should have had just a bunch of channels. That's the way that most of the YouTubers go. They just have a lot of channels. So support me as best you can. If you find a playlist you like, go back to that playlist and check out what I've been putting out. If you're riding bike, I got stuff on that. Streaming services, stuff on that. occasionally mention some of these on-demand radio things. They're pretty good. So go to xmplaylist.com. Get yourself a couple custom playlists, and you'll find it under CH, like 1, CH16, CH2, different. It's lined up like that. So if it's a 16, it'll be after the 1, and then 2 will be after the 16. You see what I'm saying? So it lines up, yeah, like that. But yeah, it's neat to have access to like a Sirius XM without the DJ. And the DJs are okay. I've given them a hard time before in videos, but it's okay. But the sad thing for me was listening to the Beatles station and all those interviews with people that knew the Beatles, and knowing how long can they keep this up? They're gonna have to just record this and play back recordings in the years to come, because all these people are gonna be dead soon. There are going to be no witnesses to, well, I was in the studio with Paul when we were cutting this album, and I was there on the road with Paul when this happened. Okay, but, which is cool to hear. If you're a fan of the Beatles, that's cool to hear. But and they've got some neat stations. Kenny Chesney's No Shoes is a neat alternative. You get a little country, you get a little pop rock, you get a little everything. And it's a great variety. It gives you great variety. So go check it out. Definitely check it out. Dad, this will be a dad advice thing too. Dad, put it on your list. Give yourself another playlist. All right. Like, share, and subscribe. We're here at the water fountain, chilling, halfway home, having a great talk with you guys, finding out how to soup up our Spotify and sometimes our Apple Music also. Okay.